So if you're starting out in the world of drumming, you might not know that there is a plethora of different types of drumsticks, and it can be quite overwhelming. But in today's beginner's guide, we're going to be going over the fundamentals and really break it down so you can choose the right stick for you. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. For anyone that's new here, my name's OwenAlec, and on this channel I do everything drum related. That includes drum covers, tutorials, tips and advice, plus gear reviews just like this one. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please do consider subscribing, hit the like button, all that good stuff, because it really does help the channel. Thank you very much. But make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to be giving away 5 pairs of Balbex sticks to 5 lucky winners. So whilst there are a huge number of different types of sticks out there, ranging in their length, their width, where the shoulder is, the tips, there's so many different things to consider, but I would say there are 4 main most popular ones that people go for. These are 7A, 5A, 5B, and 2B. Now, counterintuitively, typically the larger the number, the thinner the stick is. Sounds a bit strange, but that's just the way that is. So a 7A is going to be much thinner than a 2B. Now, full disclosure, whilst I am endorsed with Balbex sticks, this is not a sponsored video. The main reason why I'm using these is because I believe that they have the closest representation to modern day sizes. That being said, if there is a different brand out there that you'd prefer to go for, that's absolutely fine. Now, whilst every company is different, most of the time, if you go for a 7A, they're going to be around about the same sort of size. Hey guys, just a quick one to let you know that this video is sponsored by me. So for those who don't already know, I am in fact a studio session drummer. So if you're after real, authentic, acoustic drums on your next record, I might just be the guy for you. All of the information that you're going to need can be found on my website, OwenAlec.co.uk. There you'll be able to find all of the information on the services that I provide, my portfolio, and pricing. If you have any questions or you'd like some more information on my tailored service, please get in contact with me via my Instagram at OwenAlecDrumming. Thank you very much for watching. Now, let's get back to the video. So one of the first things that you need to be thinking about when it comes to choosing the right stick for you is the type of music that you're going to be using it for. Now, this isn't a hard and fast rule, and most of the time it is just down to whatever's more comfortable for you. But a good starting point is the thinner the stick is, the lighter the music that you want to be using it for, the heavier stick, the heavier the music. Now, again, I want to reiterate that this is not a hard and fast rule. This is not something that you have to adhere to. If you are playing jazz and you want to use a 2B, that's absolutely fine. There's no reason you can't. This is merely a guide just to get you in the ballpark, and then you can try and test as many different types of sticks as you like until you find the one that suits you. But as I say, if you're going for something that calls for lighter touches, you don't necessarily want a heavier stick because that's going to give you more volume. So if you're wanting something that's a bit more delicate, go for a thinner stick. If you are looking to do something a bit heavier, like heavy metal or heavy rock, where you need to lay into the kit and you want a little bit of extra help doing that and get a little bit more power behind you, a heavier stick is going to help you do that. Now, in my youth, I kind of made a mistake. I thought that if I had a lighter stick playing heavy metal, it would make me faster around the kit. I was very wrong. Most of the time, because I was playing heavy metal and I didn't have very good technique at the time, using thinner sticks made me snap a lot of them. I was hitting the rims a lot and was going through sticks like nobody's business. This was obviously quite costly because I was going through sticks quite a lot. And then in my later years, I decided to actually start working on my technique, but then I also went for a slightly thicker stick. So the ones I'm using at the moment personally, obviously, are the Balbex Jazz Nylons. This is a little bit beaten up because I have been using this for the past few weeks, but it's still got a lot of life left in it. So we've heard from one extreme to the other, but what about the middle ground? How do we find something that's kind of going to be the best of both worlds? Well, that's where the 5A and the 5B come in. So generally speaking, a 5A is ever so slightly longer and slightly thicker than a 7A. This will give you a little bit more reach and a little bit better grip because there's a bit more to grab hold of. A 5B is then ever so slightly thicker than a 5A, but should be about the same sort of length. From there, you get to the 2B, and again, that is thicker still. Typically, when I have clients asking me what kind of stick they should go for, I do tend to say start with a 5A and try out a 5B. And if you don't like the thickness, then you can go back to a 5A. Or if you still don't like the thickness and you want to go for something a bit shorter, a 7A is a good way to go. Again, these are all just starting points. And the more you get used to them, the more you'll be able to then venture out a little bit more and start trying some different sizes, a bit more custom sizes. For example, for me with the Jazz Nylons, I was looking for something that was a little bit longer than a 5A, but still had that same kind of feel. So the Jazz Nylons were the perfect fit for me. But that brings us on nicely to tips. And this is where you're going to start hearing a much bigger difference in terms of the sound. Wood tips tend to give you a little bit more of a warmer sound. They're a little bit more duller, they're a little bit more subdued, a little bit drier kind of sound. Whereas with nylon tips, because they have that little plastic on the end, you get a much more projected sound. So they're going to be louder, clearer, and overall a much more brighter sound. Especially when it comes to things like the ride, because most of the time with other cymbals like crashes, you're actually using the shoulder of the stick to hit them, not really the tip. Whereas when I'm using the ride, I tend to use the tip on the bow of the ride. But to give you a quick demonstration of this, I'm going to use one of these 5As with a wood tip. Next I'm going to use a nylon tip, and then I'm going to A-B them, so you can really hear the difference. So something that was quite surprising to me there was that even though I was hitting the ride in the exact same place during the A-B test there, I was actually getting two different tones, not just in terms of like the dryness and the brightness. I also felt like I was getting a different note almost out of it. So your tip selection is going to be absolutely crucial when it comes to fine-tuning your sound. So the overall takeaway from this, I would say, is that drumsticks are very personal, and it's all about what you find the most comfortable. So with that in mind, go to your local retailer and try out as many sticks as you possibly can. Ask the person behind the counter for a little bit of advice if you are struggling to kind of choose between two different sticks. But the main thing is, don't be afraid to experiment. Yes, it can be a little bit costly at times, and if you go for a cheaper stick, they're going to break dead easy, whereas if you go for a much more expensive stick, they're typically going to last a lot longer. But I can definitely guarantee that once you find the right stick for you, it'll be a match made in heaven, and it'll feel so much more comfortable on the actual kit. They're not going to make you play any better, that still takes practice. But overall, if you can feel more comfortable on the kit, you're going to progress a lot easier. If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning a pair of Balbex sticks, all you have to do is like this video, make sure you're subscribed, and let me know one thing that you'd like to improve about your drumming. The competition is going to run for 2 weeks after this video goes live, and after that I will select 5 winners at random, and then I'll put their names up, their usernames, up on a community post, so be sure to check back for that. If you have any questions on anything that you've seen in this video today, please let me know in the comment sections below. I love interacting with you guys, and I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.